Hello students, this is Sudeep Yadav from Spectrum Chemistry. And students, if you are first time visiting to my channel, so please like and subscribe my channel and press the bell icon to get a best explanation of NCERT book class 10th subject science. And in science, I will discuss with you only chemistry. And today in this video we are going to discuss about the exercise, that is the NCERT exercise, and the chapter is metals and non-metals. So let's start students today's video. The first question which we are going to discuss, that is, which of the following pairs will give the displacement reaction. Actually this is a multiple choice type of the question, but I have mentioned here only and only answers. Okay, so the answer is a silver nitrate solution and copper metal. Now come to the second question. Which of the following methods is suitable for preventing an iron frying pan from rusting? So the answer is applying a coating of zinc. So this is the answer. Now come to the next question. An element reacts with oxygen to give a compound with a high melting point. This compound is also soluble in water. The element is likely to be, so the answer is calcium. Okay, now come to the next question, that is, food cans are coated with tin and not with the zinc. Why? Because zinc is more reactive than the tin, so that is the reason why we are not using the zinc. Okay, we are using only the tin. Now come to the next question, that is, you are given a hammer, comma, a battery, comma, a bulb, comma, a wires and a switch. First statement, how could you see them do to distinguish between samples of metals and non-metals? The second point, that is the B point, assess the usefulness of these tests in distinguishing between metals and non-metals. So the answer is metals can be beaten into the thin sheet with a hammer without breaking. Non-metals cannot be beaten with the hammer to form this sheet. Non-metals breaks into the pieces when hammered. Metals are malleable while non-metals are non-malleable. When metals are connected into circuit using a battery, bulb, wires and switch, current passes through the circuit and and the bulb glows. When non-metals like the sulfur are connected, the bulb does not light up at all. So the metals are good conductors of the electricity. Now second reason, because of malleability, metals can be casted into sheets. Metals are good conductors of electricity, so these can be used for electrical cables. Okay, so both are the answers for the statements. Now, what are the amphoteric oxides? Give two examples of amphoteric oxides. So here is the answer. Those metals oxides which show basic as well as the acidic behavior are known as amphoteric oxides. In other words, metal oxides that react with both acids and bases to form salts and water are called amphoteric oxides. Aluminium oxide and zinc oxide are amphoteric in nature. For example, you can see here the reactions given for the aluminium oxide when reacting with the HCl, that is the hydrochloric acid. So it will convert into aluminium chloride and water will form. Now second reaction, when aluminium oxide will react with sodium hydroxide, so the sodium aluminate will form and the water will evolve. And similar reaction will shown by the zinc oxide. So it will convert into zinc chloride when reacting with hydrochloric acid and water will form. And when the zinc oxide react with sodium hydroxide, it will convert into sodium zincate and water will evolve. So here both the examples of the amphoteric oxides. Okay, now come to the next question, that is name two elements which will displace hydrogen from dilute acids and two metals which will not. So the answer is metals above the hydrogen. Whatever the metals are existing in just above the hydrogen in the reactivity series, like sodium and magnesium displaces the hydrogen from the dilute acids, but metals below the hydrogen like the copper, okay, like the copper, platinum, gold, okay, metals below the hydrogen in the reactivity series like copper, silver do not displace the hydrogen from the dilute acids. So this is the answer. Now come to the next question. In the electrolytic refining of a metal M, what would you take as the anode, the cathode and the electrolyte? So the cathode will be pure metal, anode will be impure metal, and electrolyte will be same metal salt solution. Okay, so these are the requirement. Okay, now come to the next question, that is the Pratyush. Pratyush took sulfur powder on a spatula and heated it. He collected the gas evolved by inverting a test tube over it, as shown in the figure. What will be the action of gas on dry litmus paper? Second, moist litmus paper. And B point, write a balanced chemical equation for the reaction taking place. So let's see, students, what will be the answers. So the first questions are the first statements answer you can say, that is the tried litmus paper, that is the dry litmus paper, there is a no action, but moist litmus paper will convert into red color. Why? Because to show the basic behavior or the acidic behavior, there is a need of the aqueous medium where the ion will form and it will behave as a base or acid. Okay, and the second one, Pratyush is burning, Pratyush is heating actually, that is the sulfur. Okay, so this sulfur is reacting with the oxygen and it is converting into the sulfur dioxide. So this is the acidic oxide. So why this is the acidic oxide? Because this oxide, the sulfur dioxide, when react with the water, it will convert into a acid. So this is the reason behind it. We are saying this is the acidic oxide. Okay, so this is the answer. Now come to the next question, that is state two ways to prevent the rusting of the iron. So this is very simple, by painting or by galvanizing. Okay, so both are the different methods by which you can prevent the iron to get rust. Okay, now next question, what type of oxides are formed when non-metals combine with oxygen? And supposed to here will be the metal. So the metal when react with the oxygen, so they will form basic oxides. Why these are the basic oxides? Because the basic oxides when react with water, they will convert into a base. Similarly, non-metals are forming acidic oxides. Okay, so here the sulfur, this is the example. Okay, when the sulfur is react with the oxygen, it will convert into sulfur dioxide. Okay, so this is the acidic oxide, because when you will be treated with the water in the second step, it will convert into a acid. Okay, and in the second reaction there is a hydrogen and oxygen and the water formation. Okay, so both are the acidic oxides. One is a neutral oxides. Okay, one is a neutral oxide, but first one is a basic oxide. Okay, acidic oxide, sorry. So metals when react with the oxygen, it will convert into basic oxides. Non-metal when react with the oxygen, it will convert into acidic oxide. So this is very important. Now, give reasons. Number first, platinum, gold and silver are used to make jewelry. Why? What is the reason behind it? Second question, potassium, sodium and lithium are stored under the soil. Why? What is the reason? Aluminium is a highly reactive metal, yet it is used to make the utensils for cooking. Why? Now, last one, carbonate and sulfide ores are usually converted into oxides during the process of extraction. So, the answers are number first, platinum, gold and silver are used to make jewelry because these are malleable and ductile. These are highly resistant to corrosion. Okay. Now B point, sodium, potassium and lithium are very reactive metals and catch the fire when exposed to air. This is due to their low ignition temperature and high reactivity. Now C point, aluminum forms a non-reactive layer of aluminum oxide or its surface. This layer prevents aluminum to react with other substances. That's why aluminum is used to make cooking utensils. Now last one, it is easier to reduce a metal oxide into free metal since it is easier to obtain metals from their oxides than from their carbonates or sulfides directly. Therefore, the carbonates and the sulfide ores are first converted into oxides for extracting the metals. Okay, so these are the answers for the statements. Okay, now come to the next question. You must have seen tarnished copper vessels being cleaned with the lemon or the tamarind juice. Explain why these salt substances are effective in cleaning the vessels. So the answer is the salt substances such as lemon or tamarind juice contain the acids. These acids dissolve the coating of the copper oxide or the basic oxide carbonate, basic copper carbonate, okay, present on the surface of the tamarind copper vessels and make them shining red brown again. So this is the reason. Now come to the next question, that is a man went door to door posing as a goldsmith. He promised to bring back the glitter of old and dull gold ornaments. An unsuspecting lady gave a set of gold bangles to him, which he dipped in a particular solution. The bangles sparkled like new, but their weight was reduced drastically. The lady was suspected upset, but after a futile argument, the man beat a hasty repeat. Can you play the detective to find out the nature of the solution he has used? So let's see, students. The dishonest goldsmith dipped the gold bangles in aquaresia, which contain 1 part of the concentrated nitric acid and 3 parts of the concentrated hydrochloric acid by volume. Aquaresia dissolved a considerable amount of gold from gold bangles and hence reduced their weight drastically. The dishonest goldsmith can recover the dissolved gold from aquaresia by suitable treatment. So this is the answer for this question. Okay, come to the next question, beta. Give reasons why copper is used to make hot water tanks and not steel, an alloy of iron. So copper is better conductor of the heat than the steel. Copper does not corrode easily, but steel corrodes easily. Copper does not react with water at any temperature, whereas iron reacts with